Once upon a time, far, far away, there was a boy named Russ in Southern California. And Russ, he loved to tell stories. Russ told stories in text, in film, in photos, stand-up comedy. And then he came to Seattle and became a video game designer to tell his stories that way, which of course led to him being a host on CreativeLIVE. I mean, happens to everybody. So, in the next chapter of his life here, he's telling us all the story of stories. Welcome, Russ.
My mom died when I was 5. I never developed the real ability to communicate and connect with other people, so I dove into stories. I read, I learned, and I did that. That was what I did instead of connecting with people. I failed out of school, I lost several jobs, but all I had were stories. Let me tell you that story again later. Humans are unique in our ability to tell stories to each other and communicate information and allow others to have the experiences that we have had without them having the experience themselves. A lion has to step on a thorn in order to know what it's like to do that. We can tell our kids, don't touch that stove. Now, we as photographers have a unique ability to not only tell stories to the people we are legitimately talking to, but to people around the world and to our descendants, to the people who we may have left behind. We have stories, we have the ability to communicate via pictures so you can see the emotion in addition to feeling it. So, here's my question. What makes a good story? A good story has rising action, a good story has conflict, and a good story has drama. There are many different ways in which people tell good stories, and you can find your own. For me, there are 3 main areas. First of all, connection. You have to be able to connect to your audience. You have to be immersive. You have to really be able to put yourself into that situation. And it has to transport you to some place where you've never been before. That is the magic of stories. Now, beyond that, why do we tell stories? Originally, it was because we needed to survive. We were not the biggest, strongest, or fastest animals in the world, so we needed to work together in order to take down the woolly mammoth and eat. Now, some people also believe that the human brain developed as a way to display our sexual fitness. And so much in the way that a bird's plumage is a way to show off its fitness, we tell stories. So if you like the way that I'm talking, ladies, I'm single. We also tell stories to ourselves. Every day, as we go through our lives, events happen to us, and we have the ability to interpret them as we will, either positively or negatively. That is our choice as we go through life, and it's something that we do subconsciously. It is not something that we choose on most cases. If you've ever been to the store when you're hungry, you know you buy more food. That's because your stomach has told your brain a story without telling you. And that's why, and we do that all the time. The secret is not anything magical that the universe is doing. It's a process called priming. Our brain looks for things that we have told it to look for. So in the random noise of the universe, once we've decided on something, our brain picks out those things and makes us aware of them and gives us those opportunities. But here's the thing. We have the choice to interpret it how we want. We can believe that the universe is on our side. We can believe that something has happened outside of ourselves to make us successful. Or we can believe that it's our choice, that is what we did and ourselves that made us successful. We have the ability to believe things that aren't true. If you've ever talked to a 3-year-old or a politician, you know that. It's a powerful ability. It's dangerous, but it's also powerful. Because before you can do something, you have to think of it. And before you can change and be something that you're not, you have to be able to conceive of the idea that you are not as you are. It's a powerful concept, and it's something that, again, is unique to human beings. We have the ability to make fiction fact. Our stories, our memories, are the stories that we tell ourselves. The way that we look back on our life, the way that we look at the things that happen to us on a daily basis, that's our stories that we're telling ourselves. Think back to your own story. Think back to the things that have happened to you. What story are you telling? Because we write our own autobiographies. We're the ones who are in charge of deciding what the events in our life mean to us. We get to decide that on a daily basis, on a moment-by-moment basis, as things happen to us, as we remember things. It is our choice. And our autobiographies define our future, because you cannot do something until you can conceive of the possibility that you are someone who can do that thing. You cannot make a choice until you are the type of person who would make that choice. And you, it's not just me, it's not just you, everybody has that option. We have the option to choose who we are going to be on a daily basis. So let's go back to my story. My mom died when I was 5. I miss her immensely, but that doesn't matter, because the events in my life uniquely put me in a place and gave me the ability to communicate via stories. It's what I do on a daily basis. It's what I do. I understand people through the stories they tell, through the stories they tell themselves, and I want to hear your story. Thank you. Let's talk.